Welcome to Allforce e-learning. Now, today in this session, we are going to discuss about the female external genitalia. Now, this female external genitalia also called as vulva or pedundum. Now, female external genitalia also called as vulva or pedundum. Now, this is the topic we are going to discuss along with accessory glands and mammary glands. Now, here is what is this female external genitalia means. Now, female external genitalia are the structures which are present wrapping around the female genital organs. Now, the female genital organs are wrapped by this female genital, this is external genitalia. So, what are these wrapping around? To cover as well as to aid in the process of reproduction, that is nothing but sexual intercourse. During the process of sexual intercourse, now these are the structures which are aiding, they are covering, protecting and aiding the process of sexual intercourse. So, what are these structures? The structures here involve labia majora, labia minora, clitoris, mons pubis, hymen. Now, these are the structures which are there, include female external genitalia. They are labia major, labia minora, clitoris, mons pubis, hymen. Now, where this location is, where they are located? Now, they are located in pelvic region, that is at the pelvic region. This is the legs in between. This region is what we are saying pelvic region. Okay. Now, in this pelvic region, if you observe, there is a vestibule. Now, this opening is called as vestibule. This is that vestibule. Now, this vestibule, there are two structures open. One is, this is urinary bladder. This is urinary bladder. Urinary bladder opens through urethral orifice, one opening. Then this is uterus. Uterus opens into this vestibule by this opening is what we call as vaginal orifice. There are two structures which open in the vestibule. Vestibule is the opening, a common opening for the urethral orifice and vaginal orifice. This is uterus. Uterus opens into cervix. Cervix opens into vagina. Now, this vaginal opening is what we are saying vaginal orifice. This is the one opening. Then this is urinary bladder. Urinary bladder also separately opens through urethral orifice. These two openings are there in this structure. What is this structure is called as vestibule. Now, this is that vestibule, this structure. And this is the digestive system, rectum finally opens here through anus. Now, this is nearby this vestibule. Okay. So, these two structures along with other structures, labia majora, this is the fleshy lip-like lobe with connective tissue. This is the labia majora. This is the labia, a fleshy lobe of connective tissue with some fat. This is labia majora. This is that labia majora. Labia minora, just below the labia majora, there is a thin tissue fold. Thin tissue fold, this is what we call as labia minora. Now, this is labia majora, this is labia minora. Now, both the labia minora, these together towards anterior side, it forms a erectile rod-like structure. This is called as clitoris. Now, in front of this pubis, there is a fatty cushion-like structure with subcutaneous fat. Now, this is called as mons pubis. This is a subcutaneous tissue with fat having hair in the adult females. This structure is called as mons pubis. Now, these are the structures which are present in the female external genitalia. female external genitalia, otherwise also called as vulva or pedendum. The wrapping around the reproductive organs, what we call it as vulva or pedendum. Nothing but female external genitalia. These female external genitalia consist of labia majora. What is this labia majora? The large fleshy lobes of connective tissue along with fat surrounding the vestibule, surrounding the vestibule. This is what we call it as labia majora. Inside it is sebaceous glands having, whereas outside it is hairy. Labia majora. Now what is labia minora? The thin fleshy lobes of skin below or beneath the labia majora. Beneath the labia majora, there is a thin fleshy lobes of skin. This is called as labia minora. This is also surrounding the vestibule. Now this labia minora together towards anterior side, they join to form clitoris. Now what we are saying, labia minora on anterior side join to form a clitoris, whereas posterior side midline, they again fuse to form another structure called as fourchette. Now posterior side, the same labia minora join to form a fleshy lobe. Posterior side, they join and form a fleshy lobe called fourchette. Now anterior side they form a clitoris, whereas posterior side they form fourchette. Which one? Labia minora. Thin fleshy lobes present beneath the labia majora. Anterior side fused to form clitoris, posterior side fused to form fourchette. Next, clitoris. Clitoris is an erectile. This is formed by the fusion of both labia minora at the anterior end. It is an erectile. Rod-like structure, erectile rod-like structure having corpora cavernosa, two bodies, what we call it as corpora cavernosa, having two bodies, what we call it as corpora cavernosa, and also covered by a thin tissue called as glans. Now this is an erectile rod-like. It means this is the structure which undergo, this is activation during sexual activation. This is a sexual activity. During sexual activity, it undergoes excitement and become erectile, rod-like. Now this is having two bodies, corpora cavernosa, which is actually formed by fusion of anterior side to labia minora. Then mons pubis, a fatty subcutaneous layer present in front of pubis. A mons pubis here, a fatty subcutaneous, subcutaneous means beneath the skin, a fatty subcutaneous structure with hair in front of the pubis, in front of pubis. Now this is that fatty cushion layer, cushion like fatty layer having hair in the adult female. Now this structure is called as mons pubis. Then hymen. Hymen is a mucus fold of tissue with highly vascular, a highly vascular mucus fold of tissue, a highly vascular mucus fold of tissue covering the vagina. Now here it is covering the vagina, a highly vascular mucus fold of tissue covering vagina. Now hymen is thought to be, that is a structure which was lost during first intercourse, but it is not correct. Actually it may last during vigorous exercise, horse riding, cycling, sudden fall, jolt or vaginal tampon. Now these may leads to loss of this hymen. Now previously it was thought that it is the structure which is the virginity, it is the structure which gives resemble the virginity, but it is not the case. It may be lost at any stage, it may remain even after coitus in some. Now hence it is not a reliable structure for the virginity, but people thought like that in previous days. This is hymen, a highly vascular mucus fold of tissue covering vagina. Okay. Now these are the structures which are present near the vestibule, an opening. Okay. Now if you observe this part, another view, this part is placed here for suppose. Now what is that we observe here? If it is in other view means we are observing from another angle, we are observing it from another. Here this part is placed here. Now this is that vestibule. Now this is that vestibule. This is that vestibule. Now vestibule has this opening. There is another opening. Now upper opening, this is urethral opening. Now this is vaginal opening. Now here there is a tissue fold. Now this is the tissue fold. This is a tissue fold. The skin having this is the tissue fold. This is called as labia minora, highly folded thin tissue. This is labia minora. Then there is another tissue here. This is that tissue. This is the tissue. What we call this as labia majora. Now this structure is the labia majora. This is the labia majora. Now here this labia minora, it forms here an erectile structure. Now this is an erectile structure here. This is what we call this as hanging an erectile structure. This is clitoris. And this place where the posterior side it is having another tissue fold, this is called as fourchette. Now this is the structure called as clitoris. Now this is that opening. What is this opening is called as? This opening is what we call it as urethral orifice. Urethral orifice. Now this structure, this is called as vaginal orifice. Vaginal orifice. Now this is labia minora. Labia minora. Minora in sense smaller lip. Now this is majora, labia majora. Now here this is that fourchette. Now this is that labia minora forming here, clitoris. This is, now here this is fourchette. Now this is labia minora, this is labia majora. Now here there will be anus, this is anus. Now here there is a fatty cushion like structure with hair. Now this is the structure, what we call this as, this structure is called as mons pubis, mons pubis. Now this is how it look like, this is how it look like. This is the structure what we are saying, this is the structure what we are saying. This is a fatty cushiony layer, this is mons pubis. Now this entire structure is called as vestibule, vestibule. Now vestibule means from here to here, this part, from here to here, this part is called as vestibule. Vestibule has upper opening urethral orifice, lower opening vaginal orifice. Now towards urethral opening, this is clitoris. Now towards vaginal orifice, this is fourchette. Now this fleshy thin fold is called as labia minora. Now this one is labia majora, this one is, and this is anus. Now this is a mons pubis, 40 layer with hair. Now this entire structure is called as pedundum or vulva, which consists of vestibule. Okay. Now this is female external genitalia. Now we will discuss here the other structures. Here is two accessory glands are present, where they are present. Now this is here to the vaginal orifice, this is a openings are present, the gland opening. What are these structures? These structures are accessory glands of female. They are nothing but Bartholin glands, Bartholin glands. They are the female accessory glands present on either side of the vaginal orifice. They secrete lubricant for the vagina during coitus. Now another openings of the glands. Now this is called as Skene's glands. Now these two are the female accessory glands, Skene's glands. Now these are Bartholin glands present at the posterior part, either side of the vaginal orifice. These are, whereas Skene's gland, they present towards anterior side, just inferior to that of urethral orifice. These are Skene's glands. These two are the female accessory glands. Okay, now this is the structure, how it looks like in another view. Now this is how in the side view. Now we will discuss here female accessory glands. Female accessory glands. Female accessory glands. Female accessory glands. Now the female accessory glands, there are two types of glands, female accessory glands. They are, first this is Bartholin glands. Bartholin glands also called as greater vestibular glands. Greater vestibular glands. Now they are present on the sides of the vestibule, hence they are the prominent ones, greater vestibular glands. Next there is Skene's glands. Skene's glands. Now they are called as, they are also called as smaller vestibular glands or lesser vestibular glands. Lesser vestibular glands. Now there are two accessory glands. Bartholin glands are greater vestibular glands. Now Skene's glands are lesser vestibular glands. Now Bartholin glands present where previously we have mentioned. Now this is the vestibule. Now this is the orifice, urethral. This is a urethral orifice. This is vaginal orifice. Now here these are the greater vestibular gland present on the either side of the vaginal orifice. These are the Bartholin glands. Now similarly here there are another two glands. This is Skene's gland present on the inferior. This is present inferior to that of urethra towards the anterior side. Now these are called as Skene's glands. Skene's glands. These are. Now what is the function of Bartholin glands or gastrovestibular glands? When stimulated during sexual intercourse, now they release lubrication, they release some secretions which are sticky, mucus like. Now these secretions, which we call them as are useful for, not call them as useful for, this is lubrication of vagina. During sexual intercourse, when they get activated, they release some secretion. Now these mucus secretions lubricate the vagina. Then Skene's glands. What is the function of Skene's glands? Skene's glands, their function here is they also get activated and release some secretions. Also here lubricate the vestibule along with vagina. Now hence these are the structures equivalent to in male reproductive system, homologous to. Now Bartholin glands are greater vestibular glands, they are equivalent to the structures in the male reproductive system are, these are equivalent to seminal vesicles. These are equivalent to now the glands which are present in our human male reproductive system. Now Bartholin glands are related to bulbourethral or Cowper's glands in male. These are the homologous structures for this. Whereas Skene's glands, these are homologous to male reproductive system. They are prostate gland. Now prostate glands equivalent to. Now some of the homologous structures in male and female, if you observe, homologous structures in male to female, if you observe, what are these structures? In male, penis is equivalent here to the female structure, that is clitoris. Penis is clitoris of the female is homologous to penis. Now similarly here scrotum homologous to labia majora. Now Bartholin glands, now in bulbourethral gland in male bulbourethral glands. Now these are equivalent structures to, this is greater vestibular gland or otherwise Bartholin glands. Now similarly Skene's gland, now equivalent structure in male is prostate gland. Now this is homologous to, this is a Skene's gland in female. Now what we are saying here is some of the homologous structures when compared with male and female. The structure penis is homologous to clitoris, scrotum is homologous to labia majora, bulbourethral glands are homologous to Bartholin gland, prostate gland is homologous to Skene's gland. Now these are homologous structures in male and female. Okay. Now these are the female accessory glands. Location, their secretion help in homologous to which part. Now next, mammary glands. Along with these accessory gland, there is a prominent glands which are present in the female mammals. What is that gland which is present only in female mammals, useful after parturition? They are nothing but mammary glands. Now this is what we are going to discuss about mammary glands. Mammary glands. Mammary glands. What are these mammary glands are? Now mammary glands are characteristic feature of all mammals. They are called as mammals because of the presence of these mammary glands, which are useful during childbirth. They release milk to feed the young ones. Now hence they are called as mammals. They have memme. Memme means nothing but having mammary glands providing milk to the newly born offspring. Okay. Now these structures are what we call it as mammary gland to support the life after birth to the newly formed young one. This is nothing but new formed baby has to suckle the milk from the mother. Now for this the female mammals have mammary gland at the chest region. Now the chest, in front of the chest there is a fatty tissue which has mammary glands. This is called as breast. Now this is what we are going to study about this mammary glands. Now there are a pair of mammary glands are present, a pair of mammary glands. Characteristic feature of all female mammals because they have to provide milk to the newly formed young one. This is a pair of mammary glands are present at the breast region in females. Now each mammary gland consists of each mammary gland has 15 to 20 mammary lobules. 15 to 20 mammary lobules. Now these mammary lobules along with the fat, now actually these mammary glands they are having fat, that is adipose tissue, along with glandular tissue. Adipose and glandular tissue combination will be present in the mammary gland region. Now each mammary gland has 15 to 20 mammary lobules. Now for suppose, now here this is that part, here this is that part, a mammary gland, this is that mammary gland. Now it is having, this is the lobe, this is another lobe, this is another lobe. Like this there are how many lobes are present? 15 to 20. Now each mammary lobe inside consists of large number of structures. What are these structures are called as alveoli. Alveoli are acini which consist of cells to secrete milk. Now these alveoli together form tubules. Now what tubules? These are called as mammary tubules. Now these mammary tubules together form mammary duct. Now this is a mammary duct. Now this mammary ducts of this tubules together form, this is mammary ampulla. Mammary ampulla. Now mammary ampulla it forms here into, now this structure, what this structure is called as lactiferous duct. Now listen what I am saying. These are the lobes. How many lobules? Many, hence lobules. Now these are the lobes, 15 to 20 lobes. This is one lobe, we are showing one lobe. Each lobe consists of inside, what are these structures? Alveoli. Now these alveoli are joined by small ducts. What are these called as? Mammary tubules. These are called as tubules. Mammary tubules. Now mammary tubules together form duct. This is what we are saying, mammary duct. Now all these mammary ducts together form one mammary ampulla. Now this is a mammary ampulla. ampulla. Now this mammary ampulla opens into the nipple through lactiferous duct. This is through lactiferous duct. Now here is how they are opened. Each mammary lobe. Now it consists of many alveoli or acini. Now these are many alveoli or acini. Now together they form many mammary tubules. Now these many mammary tubules together form one mammary duct. Now this one mammary duct, it opens into one lactiferous duct. Now this one lactiferous duct opens into, this is nipple. Now this is how each mammary lobe has large number of alveoli. Now these are the alveoli. This alveoli, if you take out one alveoli, this is that alveoli. It is lined inside by cells, alveolar cells. These are the alveolar cells. Now these alveolar cells, they undergo, this is a exocrine gland. You have already studied in your first year exocrine gland secretions, milk, exocrine gland, this is apocrine. Mammary glands have apocrine glands. A part of the cell is pinched off now to produce. Now this mammary glands secrete here milk. This milk is stored in the alveoli, and through this tubule together form duct into ampulla into lactiferous duct into the nipple. Now this is the nipple. Now above and below there are fatty cushion-like structure. This is adipose tissue is present around surrounding this is, whereas alveoli is the glandular structure. Now which is surrounded by, this is a fat layer or adipose layer, adipose tissue, and adipose tissue is surrounding this is now here this is pectoralis major. Now here there are ribs, cut ends of ribs. Now this is the pectoralis majoris muscle. Now these are the bones of the rib. Now here there is tissue. What tissue this is? Fatty layer of tissue. Each mammary gland, it consists of many lobules, 15 to 20 mammary lobules. Each mammary lobe consists of many alveoli, which consist of alveolar cells, which are apocrine cells. This is apocrine in their secretion, releasing milk into this alveolus. Then all these alveoli together form mammary tubule. Then these mammary tubules together form mammary duct. Now mammary ducts, one mammary duct open into this is that ampulla. This is mammary duct opens into, this is one mammary duct, tubule into duct into, now I have forgotten to write the ampulla, sorry, mammary duct, one mammary duct, then one mammary ampulla. Now this mammary ampulla opens into lactiferous duct. Now lactiferous duct open into nipple. Now you remember here TDA. Now you have studied in your first year TDA, tobacco, drug, alcohol abuse. Now you remember this TDA, this is tubule, duct, ampulla. Ampulla leads into lactiferous duct, finally into the nipple. Now this is each mammary lobe. Alveoli, there are many, then many mammary tubules, then one mammary duct. Now one mammary duct into one mammary ampulla, from ampulla to lactiferous duct into the nipple. This is how the milk is produced by these glandular cells of the alveoli, which are branched tubular glands. They are branched tubular glands and apocrine type. They produce milk for suckling the young ones newly formed after gestation. They are useful. They are present in all mammals, hence the name mammals. Okay. With this we have completed the topic, that is female reproductive system, external genitalia, accessory glands, and then this is mammary glands. Thank you.